Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm gonna tell you how to increase your new members or even keep more people active in this little diagram I created. Stay with me. Okay, first we're gonna start with recruitment and rush. With rush is pretty much when you're finding people who would be interested to go through your new member intake process, right? But like when you're rushing, what you got to do is ask yourself, what do they perceive and how are you treating them? Are you being fake or are you being authentic? Because ask yourself, if I was, rushing this organization and people are being fake to me, I personally wouldn't want to join. Like, it feels like I'm about to be swindled. So again, always ask yourself, how do they feel? What are you telling them? How are you presenting yourself? And what do they see or what do they perceive, okay? Then next, we're gonna go to bids. Bids should only be given out to people you actually, see as, a potential, brother or sister to your organization, right? And when you give it out, you typically expect these people to make it through the process, whatever it may be. Again, I'm jumping through laser beams, okay? So I gotta be big here and there. Okay, so for next, we have either the made or paper intake process, right? So I'm jumping over laser beams here. The made is, traditional, and the paper is, pretty much, administral, I can only say too much. But both of these can yield very great gung-ho members. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, all right? Now, let's say you have, people dropping at a point in the process repeatedly over and over again. This is just me. I feel like you should start, changing things up a bit when it gets to that point so that you can, read the whole line or the whole class, because the whole class or line is supposed to make it through the process. No one should be dropping anywhere throughout of it. And again, don't know if I said this before, make sure you check how they feel, okay? Yeah. These are your future brothers or sisters. These are the people that are going to be taking care of your organization long after you're gone. Okay, now that we're done with that, now we go to crossing or, new member probate or, new member presentation. But yeah, and throughout all this, you want to make sure you have your ego and pride balanced, because again, like 9 times out of 10, well, not 9 times out of 10, I'll say 7 times out of 10, people's egos are way too high, like way too high. Keep it balanced. Yeah. Throughout all of this, make sure you keep your pride and ego balanced, okay? Yeah, you're dealing with normal people, be patient. Okay, now we're here to, activeness, like after they cross. This is something not many people, cover, because once they cross them, they think, oh, I'm done. No, it's still continuing. When they're active, you want to make sure you check, are they having a good time? Are they learning a lot? Is everything, what they expected? Again, just check how they feel. Okay. And now the last part is what you don't want to happen throughout all of this, right, is suspension or probation. This will hurt your chapter so much, it is ridiculous. Again, remember to treat everyone with respect, okay? Because if you get put on suspension or probation, the whole chapter is going to be put under a lot of stress, whether or not, you make it out or whatever happens, It's demoralizing to everyone. There's a rush in size because, well, one, you could have crossed 2 possible lines or classes within that time frame. So it's like, for example, let's say you could have got potential 10 people each semester. You just missed out on 20 people in that year. And lastly, why you should, make sure you get more members is, well, y'all can do more things, more activity amongst your, chapter, more connections, and the workload is distributed more evenly. And to all the new members or people who are looking to join Greek Life, make sure you do your research on the members, the org, and chapter, etc. Take it easy.